Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Dr. Wendy Dearborne here with day 103 of our water experiment. Well, guys, as you can see here, let me just get in a little tighter. As you can see here, the water line has definitely changed. That's where it started. That's where we're at. Okay. And you can see when you actually look at the mold as it has adhered itself to the glass jar, there are parts like here that are really thick, and there are parts like here that are really thin, and it goes like here's really thick, right, and here's really thin. And so there are things that are going on with this that I didn't actually anticipate. Now, another thing that I have noticed, I've got all these things that are running through my head, but another thing that I have noticed is that while there is condensation forming, it's not like it used to be before. You know, it would form condensation and it would look like this, and this would be right here. That would be all over the jar. That would be all over the jar. You know, it would look like it was sweating inside, and that's actually stopped. The other thing that I noticed, if I can get a good shot on this, let me get in a little tighter. The other thing that I noticed is that that's a better shot. The cord that I call the umbilicus, that is attaching the mold to the rice, which on top of the rice there is more mold. It's a different type. Don't know. It looks different, but the umbilicus, this is thinning out, and it has changed color. Okay, it's thinning out and it's changed color. I spoke about the condensation a moment ago. Well, one of the things I'd like to point out also is that the condensation in the jar now looks like droplets of water. That's what's forming, like these big droplets of water. I wanted to say that also. The other thing is, I had an expectation. Okay. Now, I had my intention. I know what I'm wanting. But I had an expectation of how this was going to happen. And as I said last week, I believe it was last week, here's some big droplets of water again. See? Big droplets of water forming on the side. Right, as I said last week, you know, when you go into a restaurant, you place your order, you don't go back and micromanage, you know, how it came from the farm. How did I say that last week? I might have said that last week. I think that was in an inspirational moment. Hopefully I posted it. But anyway, you can't micromanage that when you go to a restaurant. You just can't. Okay? You place your order, you let it go, and you let it go in the hope, in the faith that it's going to come back the way that you want it. I know what I'm wanting with this, but I had an expectation. I had an expectation of how I wanted this whole process to turn out. I just wanted almost like this mold to vaporize. Well, you see, that's not what's happening. That is not how it's happening. And I put out to the universe, I put out to God what I wanted. And this is what I got. And this is going to be the most expedient way for me to have what I want. And what I want is for the rice to be clear, for the water to be clear, to be mold free. But I had it in my head, it was just going to dissipate. But you see, God, the universe, the infinite wisdom, the architect of all things as we know it, has a different plan to get me to where I say I want to be. So sometimes expectations can hinder you in the process. This is why you have to affirm it, know it, then let go and allow it to happen, just like you do when you go to a restaurant. So anyway, guys, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne until day 104. And we'll look inside the jar, doing our thing. I love you, and I am so grateful for this experiment. I'm so grateful for the fact that you are clearing, and clearing in a way that I didn't even anticipate. Until tomorrow, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne.